No, no identification on you or nothing at all.
I have, but don't wish to produce it.
Right. Go on then, mate. You can come take a walk with me.
Welcome to Rate the Encounters, where police power meets public accountability.
Thanks to Potter's videos for letting us cover and break down this police audit. Make sure to subscribe to his channel and like his videos. His link is in the description below. Potter's videos is recording inside Ipswich Railway Station when a few complaints from passers-by quickly turn a normal situation into something much bigger than it needed to be. Instead of checking whether anything improper was actually happening, officers arrive and lean heavily on what they've been told, treating the presence of a camera as enough to escalate things. What follows is an interaction where assumptions seem to carry more weight than facts. The tone sharpens unnecessarily, and the situation begins to drift toward an outcome that feels far heavier.
Just turn that off.
No, don't turn it off, thank you.
Right, okay, there's an incident going on, yeah, okay. All right. Yeah. You've got no right to be filming the lady.
I have got a right to film anyone in a public place.
Right, you need to turn it off straight away,
No,
please.
I don't need to turn it off, but I'm on private property.
Mate, yes, it's the station, isn't it?
Oh,
right, okay,
fine. I'll go somewhere public then so we can have a chat.
Yeah, come over here and talk to me, mate. For the location you're filming at, right, in the current climate that we live in, right, a lot of people have expressed concerns. The fact is you're filming this area.
Okay.
Right, okay. Now, members of the public have spoken to us, at least 3 have come through, concerned that you're filming the train station. Obviously, in the current climate that we live in, unfortunately, at the moment, a lot of people get worried about things like that. Details, mate, all right?
Am I obliged to tell you
Yes,
that?
you are. Because
under what law?
Under Section 50 of the Antisocial and Police Reform Act, yeah, members of the public have come up to us, expressed concerns about you acting in an antisocial manner, i.e. filming the train station, yeah? It's got people worried.
Well, I'm not willing to give any details.
Okay, under Section 50 of the Police Reform Act, then you can end up getting arrested for that.
Well, I'll be down in court then.
Right, because you're acting in an antisocial... Mate, all I need to do, yeah, and you can understand this,
yes,
yeah, in the current climate, just get your name and address, and I'll be happy with that.
Right from the start, they try to shut the camera down, which is telling because there's no general power that allows officers to demand filming stops in a public place. Asking for that straight away suggests control rather than any real concern. Falling back on the usual current climate doesn't help either, because vague security worries aren't lawful grounds, and using them this early shows they're leaning on assumptions instead of facts. When Section 50 of the Police Reform Act is mentioned, it requires reasonable suspicion of antisocial behavior causing harassment, alarm, or distress. And simply filming in a public railway station doesn't meet that threshold. Stretching it like this turns it into a tool for compliance. Then threatening arrest if he doesn't give details only underlines the weakness of the position, because if the grounds were solid, pressure wouldn't be needed.
You are threatening to arrest me for filming if I don't give me details.
Because, yeah, it can be deemed you're acting antisocial. We've had lots of members of the public come up and complain that you're filming the train station, all right?
You're in court then, you have to arrest me.
Mate, don't be silly. It's not even worth giving that. All I need is your name and address, and that would be it, mate.
Okay, I'm not going into the details. We'll warn you, if you do arrest me, that will be unlawful.
It won't be unlawful, will it?
Well, I'll sue you. You can argue that your case in court. That's fine.
But you've got no identification on you or nothing at all?
I have, but don't wish to produce it.
Right. Go on then, mate. You can come take a walk with me then.
I'm going to be giving my name and address because I know that if I could not live with myself, I did give you that information.
Why? What's
no
the problem?
comments. Because I know the law and I know what I'm doing. It's not antisocial behaviour. I know it's lawful with the old
mate,
you might not be the target. If other people feel that what you're doing is causing them some level of distress, that's antisocial, isn't it?
No, it's not. It's just a video.
Yeah, but if they feel that what you're doing is causing them some level of distress, they've obviously caused it enough of an issue for them to come and speak to us and ask us to come and have a word with you.
Relying on complaints alone doesn't automatically turn lawful behavior into antisocial conduct, especially when the only concern being reported is someone holding a camera. For behavior to meet the threshold, it has to involve harassment, alarm, or distress caused by actions that are actually directed at others, not simply existing in a public space. Treating general discomfort as antisocial behavior lowers that bar to the point where almost anything could be challenged, which isn't what the legislation was designed for. When Potter declines to provide identification, that in itself isn't an offense either, and it doesn't create new grounds out of nowhere. Refusing to cooperate isn't the same as acting unlawfully. Moving straight to physical contact after that only makes the situation worse.
which they're
Okay.
perfectly entitled to do because this is a free country. But what you're not entitled to is demand the details under threat of arrest.
I mean, it's not under a threat of arrest. We're saying that there is a law that requires you to provide us with your details if you've been behaving in an antisocial manner.
Which you haven't been, so you'll have to arrest me and I'll argue
That's your
it in
interpretation.
court.
Other people have deemed that you've been acting in an
Well, I'll have to
antisocial
agree
way.
to disagree.
You've also been asking people to move out your way so you can continue videoing. You're giving no reasons to why you're videoing, which just raises our concerns that there's something going on.
Well, I haven't asked anyone to move out of my way.
Well, one
That was-
members of the public came and told us that you did.
Well, even if I did not like I wrought them. Wasn't Ethan and Jeff thing,
No,
so
I didn't say that at all.
It's
But
not
what I'm
antisocial.
saying,
Exactly.
but what I'm saying is it's a person's interpretation of what's going on, isn't it?
and I have it on video. I didn't even ask them to move.
What you may deem as antisocial may be very different to what someone else deems as
And
antisocial.
That
correct?
may be, that may be very different to court deem antisocial. So I'd like
Yeah.
you to carry out, your colleague's side to carry out
you'd
his
like to carry
threats,
out-
unlawfully arrest me, and I'll
Okay, you'd
argue
like
in
us to-
court.
Using the threat of arrest to push someone into accepting a legal position is a red flag because arrest powers have to be based on defined grounds, not used as leverage to settle a disagreement. Dismissing Potter's understanding while leaning on how members of the public felt only weakens their position further, because antisocial behavior isn't measured by opinion. When one officer then claims Potter told people to move without checking the footage that could confirm or disprove it, they're effectively choosing hearsay over evidence, which is the opposite of proper investigation.
Carry out our job. We're just asking for your name and address, mate, so we can check who you are, and then you can be on your way.
Yeah, I'd like to carry out your threat
Why
because
is
you're not
that- why
getting
is that such an
information.
Why is that such an issue for
Because
you?
I know what you do if you didn't my details. I've had it done on numerous occasions before where you put it into databases and used it for application for court orders against me on silly and laughable pretext.
So what are you doing now?
Videoing police.
Okay, have you got our permission?
No.
Right. So I suggest you do give me your details now, because otherwise we're going to have to take you back to the station. All we're trying to do is talk to you. We haven't been aggressive with you.
Well, that guy has.
He hasn't been aggressive, has he?
Well, yeah,
It's
he
just-
has.
He's just stated the law.
No, he hasn't just state law. He's grabbed my arm, not just stabbed or making a
But
formal
he's
complaint.
moved you away from a situation which could have escalated.
And he could have done that
Did he-
without
did he-
laying hands on me.
Okay, but did he grab hold of you and drag you down the road? Or did he
Yes.
place one arm on your arm and move you gently away?
All right, yes, he did do that. That is
Okay,
assault.
We're allowed to use reasonable force to make sure that no offences occur, make sure nothing happens.
There's no need for use of force.
Okay, I mean it's the lowest level of force possible, isn't it? We
Yeah,
He
but
took
still
hold of your arm
unlawful.
and
I'm
asked you
making
to step
complaint.
one side.
Okay.
The idea that Potter needs police permission to record them doesn't hold up at all, because officers on duty in a public setting don't get a personal veto over being filmed. There's a clear difference between consent in a private context and public accountability when someone is exercising official powers. The attempt to downplay what happened by saying they were just talking falls apart the moment physical contact is introduced. Because once an officer has put hands on someone, the interaction has already moved beyond casual conversation. Calling it the lowest level of force doesn't rescue it either. Force isn't judged by how minor it sounds. It's judged by whether it was necessary at all. If Potter wasn't aggressive, wasn't resisting, and hadn't been shown to be acting unlawfully, then even a so-called low level of force becomes hard to justify. This links perfectly to what I'm about to share. It's called under what. Because whether people like it or not, the legal landscape in this country is changing. Powers are broad, enforcement is active, new laws are coming quickly, and most people only realize what they don't know when they're already in the situation. Under what is built, so you understand the system you live under at all times. Inside the platform are over 100 fully interactive legal guides. Not just reading, you make decisions and see how those decisions affect your legal safety, escalation risk, and evidence position. StopBot is built directly into the platform, a policing-focused AI designed specifically around UK law. It breaks down powers and thresholds clearly, and in guide mode, it works like a teacher, expanding on the guides and reinforcing your understanding so you're not second-guessing yourself. There's also a daily UK policing newsfeed focused on real activity, incidents, operational shifts, and crime, including exclusive deep-dive articles breaking down police misconduct cases, upcoming legislation, and what it all actually means. And then there are the protection tools, a live drone safety map with NOTM awareness, a civil claim checker to assess potential liability, a police complaint generator, a SAR request builder, and more rolling out. This isn't built around outrage. It's built because policing in the UK is at an all-time low, and people need to stay informed, prepared, and protected. It launches soon at an affordable monthly price. If you want to see it properly when it goes live, the Underwatch channel is linked down below in the description. Now let's get back to the video.
Situation a lot more complicated and a lot more
How am
drawn
I?
out by not providing your details.
And
Okay.
had he just asked me to go, I'd happily
and we
go
have
anywhere.
And we have a duty of care to her,
Yes.
as we do to you and every other member of of society.
If you wanted me to go, if he wanted me to go, I'd happily comply.
Okay, but we've now
And-
asked you for your details, and I don't understand
Can't
why
ask,
you're
you've
being so.
aggressively demanded.
So where do you live at the moment?
No comments.
Is it in Suffolk or further afield?
No comments.
I mean, that's not even asking for your address, is it? That's just a county that you live in.
No, but I don't wish to tell you that.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
Because I'm
That's
sure.
fine. I'm just trying to have a conversation with
I
you.
see,
okay?
thanks, okay. But no, you do with the information you get in those conversations, which is why I'm not answering your questions.
What do you think we do with the information?
Do you see information as intelligence?
What sense?
You put it on your files.
I'm happy to tell you my name. I don't really understand why it's such an issue for you to tell me yours.
Okay.
Blaming Potter for making it complicated. Overlooks that things only escalated once. Force was used without even asking him to move first. If he was willing to step aside, going straight to grabbing his arm skips a basic step and weakens any justification. The duty of care argument also falls short because that responsibility applies to Potter too, not just to complainants, and shouldn't be used to excuse escalation. Asking which county he lives in and calling it casual conversation also raises questions, as it looks more like probing for personal details than addressing any real concern. And comparing the officer giving his name to Potter, declining his own ignores the difference. Officers are expected to identify themselves, while Potter has no obligation to provide personal information.
Even if that was true, I do dispute this allegation. I asked members of the public to move out of the way. Are you saying that would be antisocial behaviour?
I mean, if it's caused someone enough concern to ask police to come and have a word with you, then yes, I'd consider that antisocial.
I've been outside Ministry of Defence building in London. I've had less hassle than this. Headquarters in Whitehall.
Okay. I mean, again, the fact that you're saying that you've been to these places just raises my concerns even
Okay.
more. Okay.
Okay. I did get stopped by the police there. They didn't use Section 50. They didn't search me.
Did you give you their name?
Unlawfully detain or arrest me. No, I didn't give my name, but was asked for it. The difference between Ministry of Defence Police and you is that you threaten... Right, sorry, that's the wrong way of putting it. Say I might be arrested if I don't give them the details.
Yep.
They will let me not give them the details and go on my way.
Like I say, it depends on the situation.
When Potter points out he's filmed in more sensitive locations without issue, dismissing that outright avoids engaging with the wider context he's raising. Experience like that can actually indicate familiarity with lawful boundaries, not the opposite. And treating it as a reason for increased suspicion flips that logic. Turning a neutral point into something negative risks creating a situation where anything said is interpreted as grounds for concern, which undermines the idea of an objective assessment. If previous lawful filming is used to heighten suspicion rather than reduce it, the threshold becomes inconsistent and harder to justify.
Right, I'm going to reiterate to you again, mate. We've had members of the public come up say you're filming them without their permission. Okay, that is deemed antisocial. People don't like being filmed without permission. Yeah.
No, I doubt.
No. Listen to me. Listen to me. That's what you were doing. Yeah. I've had members of the train staff, people who were with that girl who was in distress, and another member of the public come through, said you're filming them and it's causing them distress. Yeah. Okay, that is antisocial. Yeah.
No comments.
Okay, all right then. So under Section 50 of the Police Reform Act, you've been acting antisocial because I've had 3 separate members of the public say you're filming them without permission. Yeah, you're not filming the train station or anything in general. You're actually filming those people, right?
No comments.
Okay, so under Section 50 of the Police Reform Act, I'll require your name and address. If you do not give it to me, you can be arrested. All I'm asking for is your name and address. I'm not asking you to delete any footage. I'm asking you for your name and address, and that is all I'm asking for.
No, thank you. Not giving them.
All right then, you're under arrest on Section 50 of the Police Reform Act. You don't have to say anything to my homie.
Potter's own follow-up says a lot about what happened after the video ended. He says he made a formal complaint about PC Overton's conduct to the Professional Standards Department covering Norfolk and Suffolk, and that it was refused on the basis that he was being vexatious. That matters because it suggests the issue didn't stop at the platform or the arrest itself. He tried to challenge it through the official route, and according to him, didn't even get the complaint properly taken forward. Potter states that he was unlawfully arrested under Section 50 and then was later released with no further action. In other words, the arrest went all the way through custody and still ended with nothing being pursued. If the interaction starts with filming, escalates into a Section 50 arrest, and finishes with NFA, it makes the arrest look far more like a forceful response to non-compliance than a properly grounded use of power. The final arrest is built on the same weak premise the whole encounter rested on, treating filming as antisocial because some people didn't like it, then using refusal to give details as the trigger to make it stick. It wasn't evidence that carried this interaction to the police car, it was escalation. And when the whole thing ends with no further action and a complaint allegedly brushed aside, it leaves the officers looking less like they were enforcing the law, and more like they forced an arrest they couldn't properly stand up afterwards. If you found value in this breakdown, make sure you like the video, share it, and subscribe to support the channel and help keep this kind of accountability. In the spotlight, I'm the order successor.